So hey, what's going on to all of my Pisces out there? So hope y'all are having a great day. Please make sure to get the book on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The links will be in the description box below as usual. If you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, my email address as well as prices are in the description box below as usual. So I kind of wanted to address something before I begin real quick. So a couple of years ago, right, I was talking about how it is that basically a few tarot readers was talking about how like the way that I was necessarily taking things. They didn't necessarily say names, but some tarot readers were saying, you know, the tarot reading community is not necessarily a competition. Let me just go ahead and say this, right? Addressing that. They completely took that out of context. And this is exactly what it is that I mean when I say people didn't even necessarily ask any kind of questions or even study what was going on at all. People was just essentially taking things out of context because of the skewed perception. If anybody has ever heard of, because I listen to rap music, right? I listen to rock, stuff like this, rap music. If anybody has ever listened to Kendrick Lamar, you remember that? Do you remember that that one of those songs, "The King of New York"? That right, King of New York verse that Kendrick Lamar when he was saying how it is no disrespect, but I wanna. Basically, he was saying how it is that he wants to like really kind of show people up and stuff like this in the booth, and it's a healthy kind of dynamic where those people as rappers are like trying to be the best that they can, going not necessarily going at each other per se, but more so trying to be the best that they can because they're looking and taking ideas off of other people and really putting their own unique spin on it, and then really like bouncing back and forth off of each other. So they're really getting better. They're really getting better as they watch other people's joint, and they're putting their own unique spin on it. That's exactly what it is that I was trying to say. But you know how it is. Like you have people who have to look at something, don't necessarily even ask a question, don't even necessarily go to the source, completely take something out of context because from a skewed or a slanted perspective, and then we'll go ahead and commentate on it. So in this video, right, I'm gonna be producing a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. To be honest with you, truth be told, the only couple of tarot reading channels that I really do, and see, I have a certain level of respect for all of the tarot readers on here, regardless of the who or the what or who they are. But the tarot readers that I mainly really view is Jamie Zebra, Val 333 Tarot, and that's pretty much it, if I'm not mistaken. Alyssa Jane. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it. And the thing is that like, don't mistake that. Don't put that, don't take that out of context at all. Like, so, you know what I mean? If I ever gotten into disagreements with some tarot readers, trust me when I tell you, I have the witnesses to be able to prove it. Like that person, Diana Scorpio Tarot, that's an individual who I don't get along with because that individual, the way that individual is on the camera is not who that individual is off camera. I've had plenty, and my mom can back this up because I showed my mom the emails. There's been many a times where my first experience that I ever had with Diana Scorpio Tarot was trying to conduct some sort of like a collaboration with her and stuff like this. And then anybody who knows me on a personal level knows that I'm pretty much a loner because a lot of people, because I really realized that a lot of people be on some BS. A lot of people are not as really stand up as they want other people to think they are. So every time I interact with this person, the said Diana Scorpio Tarot person, and I like let that person know, like, hey, listen, like, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna go ahead and go and do my own thing. That tarot reader gotta insult me. Oh, you weird, you this, you that, you third, whatever the case may be. Listen. So you know, a lot of y'all, that's why it is I be trying to say that. A lot of y'all in the tarot reading community, y'all gonna have to step y'all game up, man, because the type of information that I be dropping in these videos, if you ain't bringing something new and innovative, you gonna look bad, because what people want when they come to you is a spiritual answer for something that they've already tried physically and mundanely. So let's get into it. For the Pisces, you have the Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords, Ten of Cups, Sun, the Hierophant, Empress, King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Tower, the World, Nine of Cups, Queen of Cups, Two of Swords, Hermit, and then you have the Emperor. So you have the Empress and you have the Emperor. So what I'm seeing here for the Pisces is I'm seeing how some of you Pisces right now are feeling, you know, feeling done with a particular situation, done with being betrayed, done with any kind of convoluted or mixed up relationships. A lot of you Pisces want something straightforward, right? And the Sun card represents you have a whole new sense of clarity now because of it. When the Sun comes up, the Sun is symbolic of clarity, as to where the night things, you know, a little bit shady, don't necessarily, you know, things can be plausibly denied. You understand? Because you don't necessarily see the faces of people clearly in the night, right? So the Hermit, the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant and the Empress represents for the Pisces how a lot of the Pisces are in a situation now where where this puts a lot of you Pisces is, this puts you in a position now where a lot of you Pisces are going to be able to see if these people are BS, because you know what it is that you want. And what you want is you want to interact with people who are more straightforward and to the point, as to where as opposed to where the way you used to be, you used to let a lot of people slide and double talk and say one thing and mean another and play the game. So the thing is that the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles, right? The King of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands now represents, well, with this, now a lot of you Pisces have a better understanding of what it is that you don't want. Now you're on a level where you can begin to actually pursue the things that you pursue, the things or the traits in people, a particular partner that you do want. So the next two cards are the Tower. I'm breezing through this. The Tower and the World now represents how, since this is a situation, what this is that the Tower and the World represents how it is that a lot of you, when you see people who are messed up, who are very dysfunctional, I just see the Tower, right? And then the World represents, if you really look at it, right, you see yourself actually looking at it, being the world, right? Looking at how these people are disasters, and then completely like slipping out just before, you know what I mean? Just before this person is trying to play games with you, or the games start where they start being on their BS. And I'm so glad for a lot of you Pisces, because a lot of you Pisces are really starting to see how these individuals out here are really not real, right? A lot of people are faking the funk in that sense. So the things that the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords represents how it is that this is a situation where, so now this enables you with more confidence, or you should be enabled with more confidence if you haven't been already, due to the fact that you have a bunch of people selling wolf tickets. A lot of people are bluffing. They don't really have substance. So the Queen of Cups and the Two of Swords now represents this being a situation for some other people where it's going to be easier for you to deal with people now, because realer people are going to gravitate to you, right? But you're going to actually be able to see that these people may have issues, right, in the future. But the Hermit and the Emperor represents how, but you now need to understand if these people can be helped and if they are a diamond in the rough. So let's get into it. Showing y'all the difference of quality between what you get with me, why it is that I'm unique, is because I can prove everything I choose to talk about on this channel, and I back it up with evidence. So if people get offended at that, I don't care if people get offended, because number one, let me go ahead and put this out there. My emotions are not invested in this channel. So when I say my emotions are not invested, I don't have a dog in the fight to say something negatively about any of the zodiac signs, regardless of what it is that they've got going on, who or what. I go where the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding goes. I don't know how many times I have to say that, where people with their skewed perception will understand he doesn't care about what you have to say. The only thing that he cares about is what's right and what's just. That's it, and it's the truth. And I'm willing to look at any person in the eyes and tell them that straight to their face. That's what it is. And I dare you to tell me anything else. So let's clarify the Hermit. And I have a Pisces ascendant. And I have a Virgo sun. Or Sun in Virgo. So to clarify the Hermit, you have the Magician, the Seven of Ghosts, and the Moon, which represents how this is a situation for you where, like, the Hermit represents this person not only having a lot of issues, but it could also very well be a Virgo, right? That you may end up finding out that you and this person may have a lot in common. You want to get to know. This person can have a lot of Virgo traits, but it also represents how a lot of you Pisces need to also watch out for, this person having a lot of issues, right? And it depends on if this particular person or these people in general really want to start solving their problems so they can be better individuals, or are they lost in the sauce of trying to showboat? And then the thing is that the seven of ghosts, which is the Seven of Cups, and the Moon now represents how a lot of you Pisceans need to be able to be very careful to not fall right back into the same trap of this. You having people who are trying to be manipulative to get you caught up on them and get you involved, while they get you right. They want you to fall in love, because it's a trick. Falling in love is not the same as walking into it. Understand? Let's clarify the Emperor. This is going to be one of the greatest videos I ever dropped, guaranteed. If I don't get at least 1,000 views on this, y'all tripping. So the Hangman, you have the Nine of Bats, and then you have the Queen of Ghosts for the Pisceans. So for the Pisceans, right, to clarify the Emperor, this represents also them, where some of these people whom you are going to meet are going to be diamond in the roughs. But again, you're going to have to be able to make the difference, or the distinction, which is difference between the two. The Hangman represents one of the attributes that's going to be in this person that represents the emperor is the hangman, which is Pisces. They're going to be able to take their time. They're going to be able to kind of get to know you, not necessarily super slowly, but they're going to be able to take their time as the two of you get to know each other. The nine of swords, which is this is going to have you, because they're not so interested in just jumping into bed with you. This may end up having you think that this person may not necessarily like you. But the queen of ghosts, which is the queen of cups, it represents how they do like you. It's just that this is not something that a lot of you Pisces may be used to. So just think about that. Comment on the video, like the video, please. Commenting on the video and liking the video does help the video to get picked up by the algorithm, helps my channel grow. Support real content, you know what I mean? Because you've seen a lot of fake people, whether it's the conscious community or the who to what, you know what I mean? Really start to take L's, and, fake people on YouTube in general, but on Earth start to take L's. Start supporting the real ones, man, who really do give back. Peace. In this video, I just wanted to go ahead and give a quick rundown on knowledge and why it's so dangerous, right? And why it is that you need to understand how to manage it. So too oftentimes, part of the reason why it is that so many people, one of the reasons why they can't find love, right? The way they say, or the way they egotistically claim that they want it, is really due to the fact that part of the reason why is because they're too smart for their own good. And smarts, okay, has its own meaning. So being smart and being book smart, right, and being smart and having people tell you that you're smart is serpentile, but it's also a snake. And what is the difference? A serpent is an adjective. You understand what I'm saying? A serpent is an adjective. It's a way of describing something. When you look up the definition, it says a dragon or other mythical snake-like reptile. But again, it's an adjective. The second definition, a sly or treacherous person, especially one who exploits a position of trust in order to betray it. So the etymology, creeping, right? Creeping meaning low to the ground, or trying to have your motion undetected or unnoticed. So why is that even important in the first place? It's important, right? A treacherous person, right? It's important because that's essentially the same way that knowledge creeps into you in essence, and it becomes you. What is knowledge? Facts, information, or skills acquired by a person through experience or education, right? The theoretical practice of understanding of a subject. So this whole first part right here, when it comes to the definition of knowledge, is BS. Because enlightenment is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what enlightenment is. You understand what I'm saying? Awareness or consciousness, right? That's what enlightenment is. And enlightenment is consisting of three parts: knowledge, wisdom, right? And understanding, right? You understand what I'm saying? So too many times what you'll have is, in essence, you'll have people who don't necessarily have any kind of experience in doing anything other than what it is that they may have read in a book, but they have this sense of entitlement to them, or this idea, or this ideology rather, of entitlement to them, as if they're superior to others. And part of the reason why it is that so many people are finding it hard to find love, like I said, is the ego. You think some people think that they better than everybody due to the fact that something that they may have read in a book, whether it was for college or whatever the case may be, is this degree, or you may have read something, or you may have learned one little piece of information, and now you feeling, you not feeling, but you have this emotional response in you where now you want to lord over other people, and you end up getting yourself into a self-conceited situation, right? Undue pride in oneself. And what is it? And what is the etymology of pride? Not that type of pride. I'm talking about enlightenment kind of pride, right? Pride, self-esteem. You see what I'm saying? Right? Self-esteem. To be proud. You understand what I'm saying? And you can't necessarily be proud if you don't know what it is that you're talking about. Because knowledge represents something that you may have heard or read. Wisdom, right? Wisdom represents the understanding of the pitfalls of an idea or a plan, and then the understanding is the actual experience of you going and doing it. Understand? And then the enlightenment is all three of those things wrapped up into one when you actually systematically study something, right? Strategize to get it, and then go and proceed to actually physically take action and go and get it. So the thing is that when you have people who think they smarter than everybody, they so intelligent, they think they understand what's going on, they got all this, they don't seem to understand that they're in a situation where, they think that they're smart, which is painful, severe, stinging cause of a sharp pain, right? Quick, active, clever, right? You got a lot of clever, right? You got a lot of tricks up your sleeve. You got a lot of tricks in your bag. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta, you treacherous, right? You treacherous. You're tricky. You have a lot of tricks up underneath your sleeve, or your ego does, because you're too arrogant into thinking that because you have this knowledge, which you don't necessarily have a whole lot of experience in, enough to understand how to regulate that knowledge to where it doesn't screw you over. You thinking to yourself, well, with your education, then you can go ahead and just talk to people any kind of way, or treat people any kind of way, or judge the character of a person based upon, what kind of physical accolades they may or may not necessarily have, and judge them harshly, not even realizing that, like I said before, knowledge, right? Knowledge is serpentine, as well as it being a snake, which means that it has to slither into your life, and it invades every aspect of your life. You can't stop knowledge. You literally can't. You're going to learn something every single day, whether or not you don't want to, or whether or not you want to or you don't. It's not necessarily up to you. This is an existence based upon knowledge. But at the same time, if you start getting arrogant, this is where it is that a lot of people end up getting themselves screwed over. Because just like snakes, right? Just like snakes, you have poisonous ones and non-poisonous ones. And knowledge can be a poison if you don't know how to manage it, right? Which is wisdom. And if you don't implement it, it's just the same as not having it, which is understanding. So this was just a quick little something to kind of, put in your ear. But that's it. Peace.